What is up, everybody? Welcome to the dojo. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of things like I almost forgot the name. Token 24. How did I forget that in the intro? 2049. Because I'm not going to be there. It's like it doesn't stick with me. Events that like I'm going to be at, it's like I never forget. I wake up thinking like, oh, this is the next event. Token 2049 in Singapore coming up September 18th. We're throwing a pretty big event. Matter of fact, one of our biggest events to date. We're going to look at that in just a few minutes. We also have a couple of other things that we're going to talk about. This show is, of course, brought to you by Pizza Ninjas. It's on X and on YouTube. Feel free at any point during this episode to hop in the chat, say hi, say GM, whatever you want to do. Input into the conversation. We'll actually bring you into the conversation. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Creator Bootcamp and all things Pizza Ninjas. And we're going to be talking a little bit about IP in this episode. Just like what is IP? How does that do with Web3? We want to look at some of the recent things that Doodles is doing. Can that be done on Bitcoin? Well, let's find out in this episode. With all that being said, I am joined by my two co-hosts today. We got Chris D and Fred. How's it going today, guys?
Oh, dude, we're good. Everything's on fire in California, and you can't breathe outside. It smells bad. But we're streaming good. So I'm not mad. We're gonna talk about streaming later this week too. So, Fred, how about you? How's good, Not man. Brazil doing for you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm currently not based in Brazil, and the streaming is still good out here. And no, as always, looking forward to this episode. There's actually a lot of community activity that we've seen this week. Man, some unexpected news even, but we're going to get into all that. I don't want to.
Unexpected news. Okay. We are going to add a segment to these episodes, and it's going to be the Ninja of the Week. And we want to do more highlights for Ninja of the Month. By the way, these Ninja of the Months get prizes, and we've given away tens of thousands of dollars in prizes to these Ninjas of the Month. So I definitely want to talk about that. We got Decrypto already in the chat saying, "What's up, boys?" Coming from X. What's up, Decrypto? Welcome to the show. But with all that being said, Chris, are you going to be at Token 2049? I know that they're going to do like some karate combat there.
I'll be honest with you. I was going to, and I pulled the plug on it because I wasn't here, and like the team I was going with wasn't exactly prepared. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I like to work with teams that are prepared. Like,
have you ever showed up?
Pizza Ninjas.
Like the Pizza Ninjas? Yeah, dude, I had it on lock on Nashville. I was just like, I was making sure that media was taken care of.
I love that. Like, that's my funnest way to go do events, because then it's not all on you to make sure that you're bringing like the bulk of the effort. Yep. It comes down to like you spread it out across the team who all does their job well. So, I mean, that's why it's always a pleasure to do stuff with Pizza Ninjas, and ain't going to be my bag this time. I'm just going to watch from afar and hope everybody has a good time in Singapore and doesn't get monkeypox.
Well, speaking of having a good time in Singapore, even though Chris is shelling some coins up in here, low key.
Oh, no.
We're going to talk about our Bitcoin Masquerade event. So I just lost our actual video. So we're doing the BTC Masquerade. This is on September 18th. But here's the kicker, guys. 1,500 people are signed up as going right now. That's probably our largest event to date of people that have already signed up to go. It's going to be hosted by all ninjas, Trevor, Charlie, Eric, and BitLayer. And of course, it's presented by Pizza Ninjas and BitLayer. It's going to be a Bitcoin Masquerade. It's going to be at the Giants Planet. Or sorry, not that. It's going to be at, does it say the place? It just says Singapore right here. So you got to register to actually see the address. Masked provided upon arrival. Join us for an epic party at XM Studio and Gallery. Oh, there it is. XM Studio and Gallery in Singapore for Token 2049. Fancy dress is not required, but encouraged. Come for the experience and the vibes. Awesome people, incredible music, excellent drinks. I can confirm that all the events that we've done have had excellent drinks and excellent people. I really wish that I was at this one. Maybe I would have remembered the name at the intro of this video. But I don't know, man. Numbers just never click. The numbers never like stick with me. That's why the whole ENS number naming thing, like anybody who rebranded to like Punk 2486, I never remembered them again. They fell off. But yeah, Token 2049 Singapore, get signed up. Speaking of events, we did just have our event in Seoul, and So we have a couple of pictures from that I would like to share. Trevor did like a little thread on it. I thought it was pretty cool. That's not one of them, but just kind of looking like people were having a good time. Looks like they were doing shots. Again, can confirm ninjas know how to throw a good party, have some shots. This DJ bar looks sick. You got the Bitcoin hats, Bitcoin helmet, BTC, the fire neon light. You got the DJ, and then just that background looks awesome, man. Like, cause I always like a good like green background like that. Looks sick. As you can tell, people are having a good time here. I'm actually in the background right here. You know, I'm not like actually there, but you can see my ninja right here. So I was kind of there in spirit on chain. So I'm in the background. You see Eric right here from our team with his little ninja hat. So this actually matches this in the background. This is Bless. Just doxed him while in this video. So there you go. Looks like people had a really good time. A couple more pictures. The BTC bar with the ninja looked really cool. And then, of course, the BitFlow. I'm sure there's a lot of sponsors back there. I see BitFlow, BitBoy. I have a BitBoy. It's supposed to be coming in December. Super excited about that. People taking pictures in front of the signs. And yeah, just honestly, just again, people having a really good time. Looked really cool. That's I don't know if I should dox them. I don't know who's doxed and who's not. But yeah, it looks like people had an excellent time in Korea at this at our event, and so we're moving on to Singapore next week. If you could tell, man, some of these animations are getting really cool too. Like not animations, but like, you know, just it's so cool to see like this like leather and Pizza Ninja. They actually just saw on Trevor's profile today. They actually released like a kind of even like higher quality. I need to repost our stream. They did like a pretty cool video. I don't know where it's at. Here it is of you know, just including Pizza Ninjas and their stuff. Pizza Ninjas look better in leather, and I thought it was cool that they used our like branding, and of course like they had all of our ninjas right there, and it was a cool little promo that they did to use our stuff. That's actually, I think that was actually done by who's Moods. I think this animation was done by Moods, but yeah, you got all the ninjas right there, and it's just kind of, it was cool. I like seeing our branding used and advertising like that. Yeah, and they use Mood stuff. This one's not Moods. I think the other ones previously were though. Really cool little advertisement for leather as a wallet. So really cool. Yeah. Shout out to all of our collabs, all of our partners that help us sponsor stuff, that help us run stuff, that integrate. We really appreciate you guys and love that we're incorporated in your brands.
Dude, that was a badass little spot. Like, honestly, I know this is not like coincidence that the aesthetic looks so good, but like that is, in my opinion, that's as good as it gets as far as any of these projects go. Like having something that's got that solid branding, that really like easy to recognize, but like clean ass brand appeal. So dope, dude. Ninja's killing it.
Yeah, man. I say it a lot, but I feel like I just have to keep saying it. We do have like an entire, and this is before we launched. We have a white paper that's just dedicated to design, and I'm not sure if everybody knows that. So it's a design white paper, and we actually made this when X was still Twitter, and literally we designed it to be a PFP for Twitter. And we thought about everything going into it. I mean, we thought about how it would look on like your profile picture, how it would match up with the background. We thought about like in Discord, if you talk, your ninja actually bounces. So that was like very thought out and thoughtful as part of your brand. We this just goes into detail. And you want to talk about detail? We actually went into color theory science, or color theory, and really just like kind of broke it down on the ninjas. We have all of the ninjas, like the exact brands right here. So yeah, a lot. I give you are actually like ever like wanting to like know the exact code of your ninja. I mean, you could always use a little dropper tool, but it's actually all on the ninjas.pizza website. I mean, it goes on like PFP that comes with creator tools and templates, and of course that's our tool right there. So the idea. Oh, and I mean, this is we don't have to move on to IP yet. But I mean, this is a good transition IP too. I mean, the possibilities of, do you want to start do you want to use your ninja for pizza? Do you want to do an ice cream shop? Do you want to do a hot sauce? I might, you can assume that I would want to do coffee, right? Just being able to use that IP, which Trevor actually, sorry guys for running on so much today. Trevor actually did visit Bored and Hungry in Korea, which is really cool. That's of course, a restaurant that's ran by apes and uses ape IP. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bored and Hungry.
It's actually, it was redeeming seeing the pictures of the Korea one, because wasn't the LA one like run down like the rest of LA? I think that was.
I'm not sure, but this looks sick, dude. Like, look at that art. Like, that's insane.
Yeah,
I would love to go there.
They did that right.
That's sick.
Yeah, I thought so. I think so too.
All right, where's the big ass pizza shop with the giant ninja? We need that now.
Dude, I know. I agree. It's not going to be me. Other than the coffee industry, I don't think I'm going to get into a food industry again. But I'll do coffee for sure.
Guys, we got some friends commenting. Nazar saying branding is really easy to remember. Respect to the team. Thank you, Nazar. Nice to hear that. I think, yeah. What makes you stand out? What makes you be remembered when you're not there as a brand? And definitely the colors do that. We got Poseidon. GM, will you guys be in Singapore? Chris, will we be in Singapore? I don't know.
Nah.
Oh yeah. So going back to the beginning, sorry for those that already heard it. Not only are we going to be in Singapore, at least some of the Pizza Ninjas like Trevor and Eric from the team, and of course a lot of other ninjas. There's over 1,500 people signed up for an event in Singapore. We're going to do a Bitcoin masquerade. So yeah, the ninjas are definitely going to show up in Singapore. We did get some haze in here. We got Hay from Rooney. We got Epic Chef Steak Toshi saying cool, clean. Yeah, Dogfather, he kind of since the beginning has really put to use his IP. I was going to share that for a second. He does Dogfather on analytics, and he uses his ninja and the branding. He's very consistent with it and his stuff. I really love his work, and he's been like that since the beginning. So this is kind of how his analytics look, and you can see his ninja and then Dogfather analytics. And yeah, pretty much anytime I see this like style of chart, I automatically know that it's Dogfather analytics, like before I even see his logo in it, because he's so consistent with it. So he's definitely somebody that's like been using IP like from the rip.
Yes, sir. You know, the other thing too is like you always see in a Twitter Spaces when there's ninjas in there. Just it's so recognizable, the orange PFP and the ninja. You know,
it is. I agree. We got Troy in here, another LA, not native. Well, yeah, I guess
he's actually LA. I'm fake
okay.
LA. Troy's like real LA to the point where he corrects you when you say wrong shit about LA. So shout out to Troy.
And that's what he just did. He said there's one in Long Beach, not LA. Bing bong.
I love you, Troy.
Got Toby Lewis in here. Can't wait for the masquerade. Pumped on Ordinals Bot is sponsoring. Heck yeah. Shout out to Ordinals Bot. They really go out of their way to sponsor our events, and they work with us on a lot of the things that we do. So definitely an awesome company. I still have my Ordinals Bot glasses that I got from Nashville. They're handing out some sunshades. He said not native, but I live in a tent. That's pretty much native, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much what everyone does in LA.
Another thing we have coming up this week is we have so every week we do guest speakers at our boot camp. Last week we had Leonidas, we had Bell, and we had Kalen. This week coming up, we have none other than Chris himself. Did he just changed, to where you couldn't see him when I said that? But yeah, we gave some fun facts about Chris in this. I approved before I sent. And just a little introduction in case you guys don't know him from the show. He has over 100K subscribers on YouTube. He's been creating content as a job for over a decade. I had some trouble wording that line, Chris. Sorry if I worded that weird.
I like
it. He taught a lot. I didn't want to say like monetize content because like you did more than that, right? Like you had it as full time, but I guess I could have said full time content creator. He taught a large part of Web3 how to set up roadcasters for spaces, and he has a dope ninja, which is the one with this party hat.
I love it. That's a fire ass intro. I'm into it, and I like all the little pizzas.
Heck yeah,
it's gonna be good, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a fun talk and new alpha today. I'll actually say it in a little bit, but yeah, cool stuff that I'm excited about. Kind of chopping it up with everybody for a couple hours on Thursday. It's gonna be great.
Heck yeah. Super excited about it. We just posted a reminder in our on our page earlier today talking about why week 5 is going to be X live streaming, which is relatively new to Twitter. I mean, I would say with the last year, I remember like waiting for live streaming and like wanting it to come, and it's finally you can do it like easier than ever. But yeah, it's here. It's gonna be Thursday, which is September 12th at 10:30 a.m. to noon. Chris, I'll of course get you instructions on exactly when to be there. You can expect things like this. So this is a clip from Leonidas last week talking. So I'm gonna go and play this real quick.
You're always gonna be you. So when you build an asset like a Twitter account that is a personal brand, you're going to have that forever. People create many different companies and projects, experiments. They succeed, they fail. People's interest in one business wanes, and then they move on to the next business. So you might spend a ton of time building up a specific brand account, and then you have this asset that was great for a period of time, but you didn't get to build sustained long-term value. So if you do that with your personal account, you get to build that over many, many years. You're always
That hits hard, man. I don't know about you guys. Have you ever built up a brand and like maybe it changed positions, maybe it failed, maybe something, and it's just like it's just gone now? Like,
Oh, bro, that was my prior to Web3 life. I built a brand for 20 years. It was crazy. It took forever. It was hard. But but I feel like the reality is that like a lot of that comes down to building the IP yourself from scratch with no guidance, no real reason why you're doing things. Today it's a little different now that there's so much info, but bro, I started my company in 2004. So like
wow.
that, I mean, that was not easy. Like there was no YouTube. There was no like
There's no
Facebook was
Alex
this thing for
Hormozy.
college kids. What's that?
I said there's no Alex Hormozy telling you exactly how to run a business every week.
Yeah, it
twice.
was gnarly. So I feel like now is a way better time to be building if you're starting something from scratch. But like the whole IP discussion and all that, man, most business owners aren't even thinking that way. They're just trying to make payroll. You know what I mean? They're just trying to keep the lights on for another month. And it's rough out there. So like, bro, we're blessed to be in a position where I have so many brilliant minds just talking about these things. And then let alone building giant IP that you get to use for yourself. I don't see enough people do that. So like I love the IP discussion because I look at it like I always just tease the Web3 crowd. I'm just like, you guys have the dopest IP on the internet and you don't even freaking use it. Like how spoiled are you? It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, Chris, I think well, are we in that part of the show already? The IP on Bitcoin?
If you want to be. We the most important thing was definitely just letting all the holders know that our masquerade's coming, and it's going to be possibly our biggest or one of our biggest events yet, with 1,500 people signed up. So
yeah,
that is our main highlight for today. Anything else goes.
Nice,
cool.
Yeah.
Come 2049.
Come dressed to impress.
I just know Trevor's going to be in a suit like he always is with his ninja hat.
Ooh, I wonder how many of the people with the tattoos are going to be there. Because now there's this like royalty of people that got tatted at the last party. You know what I mean? Well, not the last party now. There's been multiple, but yeah, I'm sure we'll see some pictures. It'll be dope.
I'm excited. Well, did you want to say something regarding IP, Fred?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I see these mock-ups, right, like on the site that you just showed, Chris, it just gets me so excited. Like, just imagine trustless royalties on chain, right? Just that alone. And that's not even all. It's like you just enable the artists, everyone to just tokenize and collaborate in a way where it's like the gatekeepers are not going to have a say. Like there was always this one IP play on Solana that I really respected, OK Bears, because they kept on building and building, even though the hype kind of died off at some point. And then they came with an announcement that they partnered up with Zara, and part of their bears, like if you got featured with your bear on the Zara t-shirt, you'd get 50% royalties of every sale of a t-shirt or a hoodie in perpetuity, right? That kind of stuff I think is really exciting.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I think I had a not okay bear, and they were like on ETH or something like that. But I never had an okay. I never could afford an okay bear because they were like, weren't they like hundreds of SOL or something like that?
Well, I bought two at the top, paid 15K.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, dang,
gnarly. I bought an OK Bear Yacht Club, so that's another derivative, and that was 0.25 ETH that quickly turned into dust.
You spent
know what
0.25 on a derivative?
I mean? Bro,
Dude,
that was my intro to the space. Was just derivatives of derivatives. Like
times were different back then, I guess, man.
bro, yeah.
For sure.
Actually,
Yeah.
I started on Solana, and that
So-
was not okay back then.
We were back to the to the IPO of like OK Bears teaming up and allowing you to get royalties. So what we just saw with Doodles, other than the fact that they're, I guess, entering some pretty large film festival, I just like finished the last sip of my coffee, and it was honey and cinnamon, and it's like all the cinnamon was at the bottom, and I feel like I just like cinnamon challenged myself on accident. It was like the last sip of like trying to like not like start hacking here. Anyways, another thing they did was a music video, and it was like with like some pretty big artists. I'll actually share it real quick. And I say all this to like, you know, inspire. Like I feel like everybody can take notes from like others in the space and like just kind of like, you know, see things. But so this is from Lil Yachty, Lil Tuneki, and Farrell. I want to say that they're even going to do.
We're not seeing it yet, my
Oh,
boy. Just so you know.
okay. Thanks for that. Yeah, I thought you should be here. Let me go back to it. But I thought actually Lil Wayne was gonna be in one of their future ones as well. So I'm not gonna play it.
That's
'cause we don't-
Tunchi. That's
That's
his moniker, Lil Tunchi. That's Lil Wayne.
Oh, so it is Lil Wayne. Okay. Wow. When did he pivot? What is Tunchi? Am I
Yeah,
uncultured?
Yeah, I think you're just uncultured. In the songs, he would always say Tunchi. Ha.
Dude,
And,
I used to listen to Wayne like all the way up to like Carter 5, and then I just didn't anymore. So was this like post like like his like Carter series, or
I just think it just slipped your memory or something.
I guess
Because,
so, man. I am at that point where I'm forgetting everything. But so they made a. I hope this doesn't play. Hey, like the one thing on Twitter, man. One of the million things on Twitter that gets on my nerves is when you like scroll through a video, it's like it unpauses automatically. And like on a live video, like that could like, you know, that could get you. So I have to like manually be aware that I'm turning the music down. But yeah, so they did a music video using Doodles IP. I thought that's really cool. And there's a lot of possibilities here. Like you could do like a pre-release for holders. You could do like, we were discussing this yesterday with like one of my friends who's actually a Doodles holder, and he was talking about all the possibilities with this. But yeah, I think it's cool. It really shows like, you know, if you have a strong fan base that really would want that early access or anything else. But I don't, dude, imagine a Pizza Ninja like music video. What artist would you want it to be?
Damn. Good question.
wow.
Chat, you input. What
There we go.
if there was a Pizza Ninjas music video, who would you want to see? It's gonna be some random.
For
I'm
me,
trying to think
it
of
would
what's like the vibe of ninjas, right? Like
Red
even
Hot
though
Chili
like
Peppers.
Little Wayne's
There
like
you go.
definitely not the vibe of Doodles though. I feel like because like Doodles is somewhat appealing to like a kids brand, right? Like they do kids camps around, so I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be on brand. It would be
Yeah,
so
I
cool
would
though.
have to- Can you guys get me your opinion on these two? So Gorillaz, as well as Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay, I like
Pizza
that.
Ninjas.
Definitely
like
the
it a
last
lot.
one is not a co-branding, like Chili Peppers, Pizza Ninjas. It just makes sense.
I feel like it would have to be like a because we were very like a nostalgic brand. Like we have the whole SNES simulator and like the arcade feel. Sorry, my kids are going wild in the background. We have all that, so I feel like a '90s hit, like rock song or like something that Trevor plays a lot, like on Intro to Spaces, would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm too uncultured. I got nothing, guys. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I said Red Hot Pizza Peppers.
Yeah,
That's
there you
amazing.
go. Red Hot Pizza Peppers is my answer as well. Good job, Troy. I'm with Troy.
Dude, we Snoozy said GM Snoozy. That'd be so cool. So we've been doing a lot of content, like homework, like content goals. It would be really cool to see somebody like we already have shout out to Captain and the other artist, I don't remember the name at the time, but they each released a song. But it'd be cool to have somebody like create a song and create like a name for the band or whatever. That'd be a fun little homework.
Yeah, for sure.
Got Ari
I'm at Oasis.
Riz.
Nice.
Ari3 is. said, "How about Oasis?"
There you go. Throwing
Yeah.
it back.
Classic Drake.
What does that even mean? Classic Drake.
Yeah, not new Drake.
Drake
Just
before
classic.
he got wrecked. But before he started getting in a diss track battle.
Yeah. Now the cool thing though is like if things are in place, that's what I would love to see. Like the ability for some viral moment to happen because of mainstream media that backfeeds into like this whole decentralized media thing. Like I don't know, it would just be so dope if that for some reason somebody took an interest, like like you guys are saying, like Red Hot Chili Peppers is like, oh yeah, we're doing a whole thing, and I don't know, like it sounds weird when you say it out loud, but truthfully, it could easily happen. That's how all this stuff works. There's all this product placement, brand deals. That's what media lives on. Every movie, every TV show, every commercial, bro. Things aren't just randomly in there. Like nothing on my shelf is randomly in there. I put it there. In mainstream media, every one of those things would be paying me to be sitting there. You know what I mean?
I want to actually take a
you know.
nod towards that. We clipped this the other day. So this is from the not the Ordinals is Dead. The IP is Dead show that they actually have an hour after we end these spaces. I'll show it in a second, where Troy goes on that a lot. I don't know if he's still in the chat. Troy, Bell, Flame, and Trevor, and Ken. And they talk about IP. That's what they do on Spaces on NFT Now for hours every Tuesday with some of the best in the space. So there's two clips I want to play from that. This one by Trevor is really talking about the infinite potential in IP, and I honestly think that this is just like such a good clip. I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
Nope. I was gonna say the shout out.
Make 30 billion.
Yeah, there we go. Now we got it.
Shout out to what?
I was gonna say shout out to Flame, Emmy winner.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Spoilers.
There are massive markets to disrupt in IP. I mean, look at Disney. They make 30 billion a year just from Disneyland, just from their theme parks, let alone, decades worth of IPs. Even the video game industry, Nintendo, the Pokemon company doesn't make games, doesn't make toys. It just holds the IP and then they farm it out to these different partnerships that commercialize it. And a game like Niantic's Pokemon Go was originally a different game that couldn't get off the ground. And then all they did was they added the Pokemon IP to it and boom, it's 500 million users in 3 months. One of the fastest growing apps of all time and generating 70 million a month in revenue. There are massive markets.
Just showing some of the potential of IP there.
Yeah, that's dope.
And we're seeing this already. Not that's killing at all, but we see some people doing this right. Like I think Claynosaurs is a good example. They actually were a guest on the show. IP is Dead, and we also clipped Cab talking about like character development and how important character is and how that really sells a lot.
Story and character is everything. When we built our collection, we made sure that we built characters that would make you feel something, even though they weren't saying anything. We were one of the few collections that built emotion and like face poses for like a distinct reason. You have to approach a product with like, how does it make you feel? How does it make you relate? And there's honestly nothing more powerful than a genuine connection, which is why most brands, especially the tech heavy ones, always go crazy with narrative during their Super Bowl commercials. Like there's a reason there because it's kind of like there's a dopamine hit there and there's a connection that you get to the brand. I think it was really interesting what actually, if anybody saw the Ryan Reynolds Hot Ones recently for Deadpool, he kind of nailed it. And they asked him like, how does something like Deadpool consistently do better than most of the Marvel movies? And one of his answer was like, well, we focus on characters, especially when we don't have the budget the others do. Producers want spectacle. Oftentimes they believe that's what will bring people, but it's not what people remember. They don't remember the explosion. They don't really remember the sword fight, but they remember the one-liner. As soon as you focus on character, that is a superpower.
There you go. What do you guys think?
That's a fire take.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I think that's like the fact, back to the whole, we have like some of the best, smartest possible people like in proximity to us. Like these people reach out and they'll DM you out of nowhere. And like, that's so cool that you get that insight. And all these different people have different roles in different industries. And sometimes some of the low key people you just don't realize are like real high up in their vertical, and then you find out like, oh damn, that person's like a big ass deal. I just thought that they were like a dinosaur or a ninja or something.
Yeah, you're definitely one of the companies that I recently discovered was his former job. He started a crypto and AI company. He was a former developer at Facebook and like pretty high up on command on that. And I was like, dang. And there's a lot of people like that.
And then we got our Fred here, our young Fred, just gonna be the next Mark Zuckerberg, and we all get to watch him blossom from our humble ninja creator boot camp. I love it.
Stop it, you.
Talk about boot camp a little bit. Talk about boot camp a little bit. How's it been going? What are we expecting for Thursday? Maybe some of the homework that was going on over the weekend. Tell us a little bit about that, and then I have another section, or really a shout out that I want to do.
Yeah, cool. I think recapping, this was the first sesh where we actually had 3 guests. So definitely a lot of brains to pick from for everyone. And I think we made great use of it. Everyone kind of gave their cheat codes. Leonidas, when asked how to pump your spaces, he basically said it's no mystery. Just call your friends with the largest following and get them on there. And if you don't have any, you better make some friends with a large platform. I think that was lovely. Also, Belle about her experiences with the IP's Dead show and beyond, right? So that Belle really, I think, gave us the advice on research the guests, prep the topics, just make it a professional piece of content, and make sure that all the guests that are there also keep the standard with you. And if not, then don't invite them back. If they don't make your show better, and if they don't respect the show enough to prep for it, do not engage. And I like that. That was very straight and very real. And and Kayland, of course, our first guest, who's not yet a ninja, but hopefully will be, who drew a bit on the experiences of building the show with Mario, how to do it, and just gave very applicable advice as well. And I think, for all the ones that haven't been there, check at least the last slides out, because we're gonna keep on highlighting really useful tools. And I think this session had really amazing tools, how to clip your audio from Twitter Spaces, how to speak on other people's spaces by requesting ahead of time. Like, all those free tools were shared and are probably really useful for your growth. So good to highlight that. And we already had like a few homework tasks the weeks prior to do Spaces, and people still keep on hosting. Today I saw the first Ordinals Netherlands Spaces by Shen and team. So we're going global. So shout out Shen and team for doing that. They're going to do that weekly from now on. And the homework is very simple. Grow a space as big as you can make it, and tell us about it, and tell your team about it, involve your team. And I think that'll be a good one. So that's what we're in it for on Thursday with the recap. And then we're going to seamlessly move into video, how to add video to the mix with Chris. So that's that.
Hey, boy.
That's awesome, man. Speaking of video, we're at 1,213 concurrent viewers. I feel like if we hit 1,500, that's like the total supply of Pizza Ninjas, and that would like just make sense. Yeah. So do all those social media things, like, share, tag a friend, all that stuff to support this content. Man, I really focused on what you said about Belle. Like, as far as don't let guests take advantage of you, man. Like, even if they're a big deal, like if they're rude, if they're just not about it, if it's like it's an annoyance to them, like, you don't need them. Like, if anything, they're on your show because they need you. And and maybe you need them at the time. Well, you keep on doing what you're doing. One day they might need you, and you're going to be like, well, remember that time that I had you on my show and you were just a butt to me. Like, I had that happen a lot, but specifically this one guy I'll never forget was just horrid on the show. He was a big deal on Twitter at the time. I don't even know if he's still active anymore. And he was horrid. He's the worst guest I've ever had. It was on my personal show, and I was like, it's my life's mission, like, to never have him on there again. Yeah. It was such a bad experience. He was just like, I felt like I was having a king on my that didn't want to be there against his will, whose queen told him he had to be there to make the appearance, to hang out with the peasants. It was the worst experience ever. It made me feel weird, made me feel awkward. I moved on from it, and so don't let your guests dictate you or own you.
Yeah, one of the funniest experiences I had was I listened to NFTs and chill or whatever, or Web3 and chill, but it's AlphaCo, and this dude randomly out of nowhere, Tyrese Gibson pops up and starts shilling some random shitcoin thing, and he just lets him go for a minute, and then at a certain point he's like, "No, that's enough." Just kicks him off stage. Is like, "Bro, we're not having that here. Like, I don't care who you are." I was like, "Yeah, thank God." Like, because people switch up so hard. They're like, "Oh my God, that person in the audience." Like, I love Frank, but people are like, "Oh my God, Frank is here." And then like, let's bring up Frank. And then everybody, let's listen to Frank. And I'm like, cool. And I love that he's super involved in the ecosystem. So that makes a little bit more sense. But if it's just like some random celebrity or whatever, and you just like treat them like the king, like you were just talking about, and they're just not there, like,
dude,
bad luck.
I don't remember the show. It might have even been Mario's, but I don't remember. It was a big show. But this was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So big shows then were different. This show commonly allowed guests to sponsor the show. And I will never forget the day that Gary Vee just showed up. And because he was a big deal, they just he showed up, he immediately went to shilling, and then he left. Yeah. And I was like, man, I know, like, it's maybe that's worth it as a creator, because Gary Vee is a very viral person. It wasn't on video, it was on voice. But I was like, that dude just got a free. Not only did he get a free sponsored segment, he also overlooked there was somebody who was sponsoring that was on stage that was supposed to get a segment that kind of got that taken away from them. I remember what show it was on now. I don't know if I should say it. But I remember that. I remember that directly. And I was like, man, that dude really just came in there, shilled, got that for free, and left. And then just completely overshadowed the people that paid for that spot. I was like, dang.
Bad looks. People remember that forever. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think that company is probably like out of business now because they didn't get their spot that they wanted from that show, and because of Gary Vee. And every day they wake up, they I don't know, floor a V-friend or something.
Oh man,
FUD V-friends. Check out some of the background.
Another very vocal advocate for IP. Gary,
here it is.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's from minting the series too.
I got my little see the little heart. That was my little V-friends Macy's guy that I picked up.
I think I have an individual card somewhere here too that I picked up from one of the booths. This is an unopened, sealed pack though of the one that you minted. So
where's the Ninja toys? It literally just hit me in the side of the head. Like, sure, I want my hat, but where are those? I want those things.
I don't know. That'd be cool. I want to. So somebody on Twitter that like just 3D printed it and hand painted it and sent it to me, didn't charge me, and paid for shipping. Shout out to Biscuits for doing that for me. It was super random, super kind. Wow. Also not a holder. Just we've followed each other for a while. I guess she was just like feeling really I mean, she's a kind person, and I feel bad. I don't like accepting free stuff, especially like to that degree. And I mean, obviously I'm super thankful and super happy, but I was like, can I please send you something? Can I like do something for you? Can I give you a deal? Like, do you want to do this for more people? And like, they'll pay you. Like, she just did it out of the kindness of her heart.
That's actually a really cool thing to bring up right now is in like inter-community spotlighting. Man, we all have the opportunity to spotlight somebody else. Yeah. And like, I think that that's the coolest thing that can happen, especially when it's almost like, in a way, it's UGC for Pizza Ninjas, right? Because it's like ninjas helping ninjas. That's just fun to say. It's cool to do, blah, blah, blah. But like, truthfully, that is one of the coolest things. It's like you're just building each other up. Rising tide lifts all boats, that whole deal. But it's cool when you've got somebody who, like somebody does video, so they can take a video of the product. Somebody makes product, so they send it to the person who does videos, and then the person with the big ass, platform that everybody listens to them because they got a big Twitter account, show the guy who made the video of the thing that, the part. Like, these are all cool things, and it's just it all makes sense because like at the end of the day, you know, even in a selfish world, you're kind of pumping your own bags by helping out your fellow ninja. Like you really are.
Well, so
makes
this might
sense.
not be exactly what you're describing, but I know I actually didn't expect him to do this, but last week it was, or maybe even a couple days ago, one of the holders launched their own project. It was Pizza Rhinos, and it was in like, you know, similar branding as Pizza Ninjas. There's 888 of them, and Trevor shouted it out on his page, and it minted out, you know, and I was like, that's cool. Like I really wasn't expecting that. But yeah, it was really cool and supportive of Trevor to do. And that's like a power too, right? Like you have that community exposure, you have that endorsement in a way, you know. I say endorse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was really cool of him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, to be honest, anything minting out right now is bullish. I don't care how many of them there are. Anything mints out, and you're like, hey, we did a launch, and then it minted out. It's like, thank God, you know, like good. Like
the other day,
more of that, please.
The other day, I saw an IP project mint on Solana. There, someone was fudding them for like it was 4 hours after mint. Like mint was open for 4 hours, and they hadn't minted out yet. But someone fudded them, and I was like, no, it's like they minted out a day after. That's mega bullish. Like if you can do this in this climate.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's not bullish is when you're going for days or a month and you're like an eighth of the way minted out. It's like that's a rough spot to be in. You know, no one wants to be in that situation. Nobody does any of this stuff for, you know, 15% the outcome they had hoped for. It's just
That
it's rough.
also from a project standpoint, if you had a runway and you were going to be a business, it kills your funding, right? Like if you're expected to raise $500,000 and you only raise $50,000, where's your execution? And it's super bearish for those that are like expecting you, unless it was clear from the start, like, which even that, you know, like if you only needed 25%, why did you? I don't know. I definitely think you can make money, like that's fine, but you do got to think about that. Like, and if it's just like an art project, or if it's just like no utility, like we were saying that from the start, but if you're like buying into something that like has like a roadmap and expectations, a product, needing a team, needing all this, and it only mints out 25%, you got to consider that.
Yeah. I think that is like the beautiful thing of building cool stuff inside of other ecosystems, and then like really finding a way that you can be valuable there. And then people want to, you know, that reciprocity of like, oh, you've been so helpful in that one place, and then they see you doing something else and they want to get behind and push. It's not you 100% drumming it all up on your own. And I feel like that is the biggest misstep I've seen happen in the space. I don't care the blockchain. You're dealing with humans on all of it. Gamblers are not. I think coming at it from absolute scratch and then being like, we have to do our thing in like 60 days. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work out for you, because I haven't seen that do well for many people, man. You got to show up and be valuable first. So building inside an ecosystem is smart.
I really like what you just said there, because that's a little bit of an epidemic. You know, I take like calls with prospects that have activations, like they have TGEs or, you know, mints coming up. And then there's this insane pressure to do something in 60, 90 days, even 90 days. It sounds like a lot. It's really not a lot. Like think of your favorite, most trusted people in the space and how long they've been around. If you were to do a boot camp and shorten that time, 6 months, if you're spectacular and you have a team to help you with content, is a super fast time to do that. I would almost, if I were like in a VC position, bootstrapping new things, I would mandatorily have the founder do a 6-month Twitter growth sprint before even like talking about anything product related. Just like build yourself up as a creator. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, and even beyond that too, I think so. One of the things I see lacking, even with the big creators, where it's like you have a big name on Twitter, you have a big following. A big following is not a big community. I don't know who needs to hear that, but bro, your numbers, the bank doesn't care how many followers you have on Twitter, and neither does your success at minting out something, unless you've got a community. Like if you don't have a community and you're not like serving one group of people, then when you tell everybody, okay, like throw your money in, like, bro, you just can hear crickets. That's how the space works.
I got two things on that. One is there is so easy to have a ton of followers from the last bull market on crypto NFT Twitter, because you did giveaways, you know, follow me using AlphaBot, you know, for a chance to essentially win 5-10 grand, because you're going to get this project that sells for 5 to 10 grand profit. You can get 5 to 10,000 followers off that one AlphaBot giveaway. So a lot of people have that, you know, and get no interaction now. Probably the guy that I told you was an awful guest to me. And number two, I saw this the other day. It's not really unrelated. It's just kind of funny. You probably know him. I'm not going to drag his name through the mud. He's a really big political guy on Twitter. And I guess, I mean, that's like his niche, right? Like you kind of just get bigger for no reason. Well, he has a reason. I'm about to tell you what his reason was, but you kind of just blow up and nobody knows why you blow up. So then you just have to pretend to know something. So you're like, oh, the politics, you know, you just kind of pick something. That's what he did. And so this guy had a fan account, and he grew his entire following to like $1 million or 1 million followers off of this fan account. I think it was like, who was it? It might've been Justin Bieber fan account or parody account or whatever they called it. I think it was Justin Bieber. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was one of the Jonas Brothers. And that's how he grew a majority of his following. And he's like decently big on Twitter still. Like he was able to kind of keep that momentum, like I said, when he pivoted to whatever. But it blew my mind when I found that out. I was like, dude, this dude would have, that was his launch pad, you know, so he pivoted well. But like, if it wasn't for that, this dude would have like a fraction of the followers.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, okay, so a guy wrote a thread on this, and the guy that I'm talking about ordered a sent him a cease and desist letter and said he was going to get his lawyers involved.
Wow.
If you're that person that does that gets lawyers involved over tweets like that, I just can't help but laugh at you forever. I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's nuts, dude. It really is. Man, I got a message from a ninja, so I was making sure that it, you know, wasn't relevant to this. So I want to, we were talking about this at the beginning. Also, we're so close to 1,500 concurrent viewers, which would make us, you know, even with the amount of ordinals in our project. So that'd be really cool. And that'd be a good screenshot. So again, like the video, do all those things. I want to bring this up before we kind of coming up to an end here. Is we're going to do a holder of the week section. And honestly, guys, every holder is special to us. They're all special, especially like different weeks, like different people step up in different weeks, but it's really hard to top with this. Like this week was almost a no-brainer. There's been some really cool stuff done this week, but this has to be highlighted. I'm sure some of you already are kind of know what I'm about to share. It's not the cab. I'm still in that tab. It is Flame, or Human on Fire, who literally just like earlier this year was actually suspended on X for really no reason. He won an Emmy. One of our Pizza Ninja holders won an Emmy, guys. Like that's insane. Like how cool is that? Like, yeah, wait, hold on. I have it. Your collapse didn't make noise. Let's give it a little bit more. Is that going through?
Yeah, I was probably gonna play the trombone on accident, so I'm glad you did it, because I don't even know what my sound pads do.
I'll show you how to use a Rodecaster one of these days, Chris.
Thanks. I need help a lot. It's great.
I did find out super niche, not super niche, but if you're huge shout out to Flame. Awesome guy. He's been to a lot of our events, you know, and I've met him on a personal level. He's a good friend now. He minted his ninja. I believe by rarity, his ninja is actually the most rare in the collection, which is crazy. So yeah, Flame's awesome. Diamond Hand, and won an Emmy. So just to kind of show the raw talent that some ninjas have. Huge shout out to him. We're thankful to have you in our community. And we'll go ahead and pull this down.
Next bootcamp is how to win an Emmy.
Yeah.
We need a week on that for sure, at a minimum.
Yeah, that would take some time. Oh yeah, so the Rodecaster thing, I found out that in Discord, if you're like playing sound through Discord, we just blew past 1,500. I'm gonna say cheese, guys. Cheese. We got past 1,500, so I had to screenshot that. on Discord, if you're doing music through it, you need to turn off noise suppression in order for it to like sound cleaner. Did not know that until last week when I was doing the music, and they were like, "It's in and out, it's in and out," and somebody suggested that I turned off noise suppression, and it apparently worked.
Huh. I didn't even know that there was a noise suppression thing in there, but yeah.
It's
So the same thing with Spaces. If you're ever driving and you have it on like, you know, where it's like voice isolation mode so that you don't hear the driving of the car, and then you plug in a Rodecaster and you do everything, terrible experience, because it's just trying to cut out everything but your voice, which is what you're trying to play. So makes
Dang.
sense.
Do you
Exact thing.
have an iPhone, Chris?
Yeah.
All right, quick question before we wrap up. So I found out a solution. It's just really freaking annoying, but like almost every day, maybe every few days, I have to like go to my Rodecaster doesn't recognize my phone. I have to go to my settings. I have to go to sounds and haptics, and I have to go to headphone safety, and I have to forget all USB audio devices, and then I have to reconnect and then hit headphones. I have to do
What
that.
model do you have?
I have to
What
do that almost every single time I use my phone.
What iPhone do you have?
Dead.
I don't know, 15 plus, I think.
It's a 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to keep my 13 Pro Max forever.
You can get the
And then-
16 now. It has the little camera thing, you know, you can
There you
zoom using that button that wasn't there before.
I'm going to wait for the iPhone that's
Yeah.
also a drone, so I could just like have it fly around and film me. That'd be good.
Yeah. That's
No,
awesome.
that's crazy. I have no idea. So my wife has a 15. I've just been rocking it. Dude, my Pro Max is like a $1,700 phone. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep that thing forever. It's a damn supercomputer. You know what I mean?
I usually wait a long time. I was having problems with my last one, and I think it was just the iPhone X or something like that, which I guess was the 10.
Yeah.
And I was having issues. But
I got a
usually wait long time.
3-year, a 3 version minimum.
Mhm.
Like I'm not changing every year. That is, you know, I'll be the millionaire with the Camry. I'm just not interested in
I like that.
keeping up with the Joneses and all that whole deal. Like that's a
Yeah.
bad use of my money. So if I can't do a lot with a badass machine like my 13 Pro Max, then like that's a skill issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
That's cool, man. So, I mean, we're up on that hour. We got 1541 concurrent, so that's awesome. I hope you guys gain value out of this. I hope you guys to see you in Singapore for Token 2049. 1,500 people are signed up, which is wild. Or not 1,500, more than that. I don't remember.
More
The
than-
number
yeah,
was.
The number.
Yeah, no,
The number is the magical number.
1,504. What's that?
The number is the magical number today. 1,500.
It is. It's it just makes sense, right? It just
Yeah.
makes sense. So yeah, it's the whole universe is aligning for how much fun Token 2049 is going to be in Singapore. I'm jealous. I'm not going to be there. Matter of fact, I mean, it probably will be settled by then, but I'm about to get hit by a hurricane like tomorrow, so I'll probably be offline the rest of the week. So I'm enjoying my moments of peace before the calm before the storm with you boys. With all that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Chris, Fred, thanks for being here. Do all those things, like, share, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you Thursday.
Thursday.
See you.